Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Ready for a wild ride across the globe? Today we're talking about countries where people say you can find beautiful wives who treat you like royalty, plus super low living costs and jaw-dropping scenery. Whether it's rumored traditions of family devotion or vibrant dating scenes, these places supposedly have it all. Curious to learn more about these irresistible destinations? Hit that subscribe button and buckle up, because you're about to discover the most amazing countries on Earth. Alright folks, here's how today's video is going to play out. We'll take you on a journey through a series of countries that travelers and online commenters claim are hotspots for finding stunning, caring, and supportive partners, combined with a super affordable lifestyle. Each country has its own unique culture, breathtaking landscapes, and distinct ways of life. But a few rumors float around that these are places where traditional family values are strong, and many locals are open to welcoming foreigners into their families, sometimes more easily than you'd expect. We'll talk about cost of living, including monthly rent, food, and transportation costs. We'll check out social and dating norms to give you a sense of how easy or hard it might be to meet new people. Then we'll take a peek at safety, because hey, nobody wants to live somewhere that keeps them constantly on edge. Also, we're slipping in some fun insider tips from folks online who've claimed these countries are perfect if you're looking for that special someone to build a life with, or just have a vacation romance. Remember, these are broad generalizations, and every individual is different. But sometimes, sweeping statements can still help you decide where you might want to visit or live next. And finally, because this is the internet, we're also going to throw in some unverified rumors and theories that spark curiosity. After all, we're here to entertain, right? So take everything with a grain of salt, keep an open mind, and of course share your own experiences in the comments below. Ready? Let's get started with our first awesome destination. Country Hash 1, Thailand. Overview and vibe. Thailand is often called the Land of Smiles, and for good reason. People online rave about how warm, welcoming, and friendly Thai folks can be. The culture places a huge emphasis on respect, politeness, and family values. Some rumor that Thai women, in particular, are famously gracious hosts, often known for cooking elaborate meals, keeping a tidy home, and focusing on making their partners feel special. Whether that's 100% true or not, loads of Westerners love the easygoing Thai approach to relationships and the strong sense of hospitality. Cost of living. Thailand has a reputation for being budget-friendly. In Chiang Mai, for example, expats claim you can find a decent one-bedroom apartment for somewhere between $300 to $500 a month. Street food can cost as little as $1.50 per meal. If you prefer fancier restaurants and nightly outings, you can still keep your spending reasonable. Public transportation in Bangkok can be under $1 for a SkyTrain ride, although taxis and tuk-tuks vary. Healthcare. Many travelers say it's excellent and super affordable, especially in private hospitals. Dating and social scene. There are a ton of travel forums boasting about how easy it is to meet new people in Thailand. From night markets in Phuket to beach parties in Koh Samui, there's always a fun way to socialize. Some foreigners mention that language barriers can sometimes be an issue, but many Thais speak basic English, especially in touristy areas. Age gap relationships aren't unusual here, and plenty of expats share stories of finding long-term love in this tropical paradise. Safety and visas. Thailand is generally safe, although you'll hear about common scams like overpriced taxis or street vendors charging triple to tourists. As for visas, US citizens can usually enter for 30 days without a visa if arriving by air, slightly less if overland. And there's an option to extend or switch to a tourist visa for longer stays. Retirement visas are also popular if you're 50 plus. Country Hash 2, the Philippines. Overview and vibe. The Philippines is famous for crystal clear waters, island hopping adventures, and unbelievably friendly locals. A lot of foreigners say Filipino women have strong family values, often treat partners with an incredible level of care, and pride themselves on loyalty. According to countless YouTube comments and travel blogs, there's an abundance of Filipina charm, meaning a sweet mix of warm hospitality, respect for elders, and genuine affection. Cost of living. If you compare living expenses in Manila to smaller cities like Cebu or Davao, you'll find drastically different price points. In Cebu or Davao, some people claim you can find a decent apartment for about $300 a month or even less. Utilities, groceries, and internet may add another $100–150 if you're modest with the air conditioning. Eating out can be dirt cheap at carinderias, small local eateries. Meanwhile, trendy spots in Manila cost more, but can still be way cheaper than many Western cities. Dating and social scene. People often say that meeting potential partners in the Philippines is straightforward. English is widespread, making communication smooth. You might connect with locals through church groups, coffee shops, or through popular dating apps. Filipinas are often described by foreigners as family-oriented, religious, and extremely patient. Also, it's culturally common for them to live with extended family, so you might get introduced to the parents and grandparents sooner than you'd expect. Safety and visas. While large cities have typical urban crime, the Philippines is overall quite welcoming. Just stay mindful in some areas of Manila and avoid well-known trouble spots in the south. As a tourist, you typically get a free 30-day stay on arrival, which can be extended for a fee. Retirees often love the Special Resident Retirees Visa, SRRV, making long-term living simpler. Add scenic beaches, laid-back vibes, and a deeply caring approach to relationships, and you'll see why so many foreigners stick around. Country Hash 3. Colombia. Overview and vibe. Colombia has been exploding in popularity among travelers for its lush landscapes, bustling cities, and famously warm people. Once associated mainly with negative headlines, Colombia is now known for its vibrant culture, salsa dancing, and coffee plantations. There's also talk all over online forums about Colombian women being passionate, family-focused, and quite welcoming to foreigners who respect their culture. People say that in Colombian households, hospitality is a point of pride, with big family gatherings, festive music, and plenty of delicious home-cooked meals. Cost of living. In cities like Medellin or Cali, rent for a one-bedroom can start around $300–400 in local neighborhoods, though fancier areas might cost double that. Food is relatively cheap if you stick to local produce and street food. Fresh fruit juices and traditional meals can be had for just a couple of dollars. Public transportation in Medellin, for instance, includes a modern metro system that's both clean and affordable. Some expats claim that life in Colombia is about a third of the cost compared to major US cities. Dating and relationship culture. Colombians tend to be quite affectionate, and many travelers mention that romantic gestures, like dancing, giving small gifts, or writing love notes, are highly appreciated. Spanish is the main language, so you might want to brush up on your skills. Locals often appreciate foreigners who make an effort to speak even basic Spanish. Some rumors on social media say Colombian women are jealous or overly possessive, but others brush this off as a stereotype, saying that real relationships are grounded in trust and strong family ties. Safety and visas. Safety can vary by neighborhood. Cities like Bogotá, Medellin, and Barranquilla are generally improving in terms of security, but you still need to be cautious in certain zones. If you keep your wits about you, avoid flashing expensive items, traveling alone at night in unknown areas, you'll likely have a good experience. Colombia offers a 90-day tourist visa on arrival for many nationalities, and you can usually extend that. A Migrant M visa is available for those looking to stay longer or get married to a Colombian partner. With such colorful traditions and rumored affectionate relationships, Colombia remains a beloved spot for adventurous souls looking for a warmer climate, both literally and figuratively. Country Hash 4. Russia. Overview and vibe. Russia might not be the first place you think of when you hear affordable or ready to serve, but it shows up on many online lists discussing traditional family structures and devoted partners. Russian culture has historically placed a strong emphasis on marriage and family life. Women are sometimes described, especially in certain online men's forums, as elegant, feminine, and supportive, though these are obviously sweeping generalizations. Still, curiosity about Russian women has prompted plenty of travelers to check out cities like Moscow, St. Petersburg, or regional towns. Cost of living. The cost of living can vary significantly. Moscow and St. Petersburg can be pricey in certain districts, almost close to Western European costs. However, once you move away from the big tourist areas, you can find apartments under $400 a month. Transportation on the metro is famously cheap, often under $1 per ride. And if you cook at home, groceries aren't bad either. A lot of foreigners mention that entertainment, like theaters, concerts, museums, can be cheaper compared to similar events in Western capitals. Dating and social scene. Because English isn't as widely spoken in Russia compared to some other destinations, the language barrier can be real. But if you can learn some Russian or connect with English-speaking locals, you might find a culture that values deep conversation and close friendships. Some Westerners say that if a Russian woman is interested in you, she'll make it known through body language or direct conversation. However, it's also important to show sincerity. Genuine compliments, real emotional interest, and respect for her family are often crucial. Safety and visas. Russia is generally safe if you stick to normal precautions. Some travelers worry about pickpockets in busy areas, or the occasional scam targeting tourists, so stay alert. The visa process for Russia can be more complicated. Typically, you'll need an invitation letter or to go through a sponsor. There are various categories of visas, so do your homework. Though Russia might not top every list for ready-to-serve cultures, plenty of bloggers claim that once you're accepted into a Russian family, you'll experience unwavering loyalty and support. Country hash 5, Vietnam. Overview and vibe. Vietnam has been all the rage among backpackers and digital nomads for its delicious pho, motorbike adventures, and welcoming people. Rumors say Vietnamese women have a strong sense of tradition, focusing on nurturing their families and respecting their elders. Many Western men talk online about how they've been impressed by the level of care and thoughtfulness Vietnamese partners show, from preparing meals to helping navigate local customs. Cost of living. Cities like Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, and Hanoi can be surprisingly affordable if you live outside the expensive tourist hotspots. A one-bedroom can go for $300–400 per month, though the price can climb for more modern condos in trendy districts. Local street food is famously cheap and scrumptious. Banh mi and a glass of iced coffee can cost under $2 combined. Internet is typically fast and cheap, which is great for remote workers. Dating and social scene. English is more common in major cities, and many locals are eager to practice language exchange. App-based dating is on the rise here, but you can also meet people through coffee shops, co-working spaces, or social groups. Keep in mind, Vietnam is still quite family-oriented, so building a relationship may involve formal introductions to siblings, parents, or even grandparents. And yes, it's said that many Vietnamese wives take pride in creating a warm home environment, a rumor that consistently pops up in expat forums. Safety and visas. Vietnam is generally considered safe, although petty theft can happen, especially with phone grabbing from passing motorbikes. As for visas, many travelers get an e-visa online, valid for 30 days. Extensions are possible, though the rules can change. Digital nomads sometimes do visa runs to neighboring countries. Healthcare in major cities can be decent, with private clinics offering English-speaking staff. Overall, Vietnam's blend of affordability, potential for meaningful personal connections, and natural beauty keeps it high on the list of rumored dream destinations for seeking a devoted partner. Country hash 6, Brazil. Overview and vibe. Brazil conjures images of carnival, samba, and endless beach parties in Rio de Janeiro. But beyond the music and nightlife, there's a deep cultural emphasis on family. Several foreigners claim Brazilian women are extremely warm, affectionate, and very attached to their extended families. So if you're dating someone, you'll likely become part of a big family network. People online often say that a Brazilian wife goes above and beyond to make her partner feel cherished, but of course your mileage may vary. Cost of living. Costs swing drastically depending on location. Rio and São Paulo can be expensive in upscale areas, but you can still find modest apartments for $400–600 a month if you search. Groceries and dining out vary widely. Eating local dishes like feijoada in a small restaurant might be super affordable, while hitting up trendy tourist spots can break the bank. Transportation in big cities can get jam-packed, so factor that into your daily routine. Dating and social scene. Brazilians are known for their expressive, lively, and friendly nature, sociable at bars, street parties, blocos during carnival, and community gatherings. Physical affection, from hugging to kissing, can be more open than in many other cultures. If you're comfortable stepping onto the dance floor, that's a quick way to make friends or catch someone's eye. Some internet gossip claims Brazilian partners can be dramatic or jealous, but many locals say that's just a stereotype. In reality, you'll find all kinds of personalities. Safety and visas. Crime can be an issue in certain neighborhoods, especially in large cities, so research carefully. If you take normal precautions, like not flaunting valuables, avoiding sketchy areas late at night, most visits are trouble-free. For tourists, Brazil generally offers a 90-day stay to many nationalities. If you want to stay longer or get married, you'll need to look into the proper visa categories. The healthcare system can be patchy, but big cities usually have private hospitals that meet international standards. If you're looking for a fun-loving atmosphere, strong family ties, and potential for a sizzling romance, Brazil definitely has a place on the rumor mill for wives who are ready to serve in the sense of affection and devotion. But watch your back in busy streets and brush up on Portuguese phrases to blend in better. Country hash. 7. Ukraine. Overview and vibe. Before recent conflicts, Ukraine was touted in many men's forums as a prime destination for meeting traditional, family-oriented women who appreciate genuine suitors from abroad. Even now, online chatter claims that Ukrainian women take great pride in cooking, maintaining a comfortable home, and caring deeply for their families. They're also said to be highly educated, with many speaking some English. While the country is in a complicated situation, especially with ongoing tensions, the cultural appeal hasn't completely faded from certain corners of the internet. Cost of living. Kyiv, the capital, can be a bit more expensive than the rest of the country, but it's still considered low cost compared to Western Europe or North America. Expect to pay $300–400 for a modest apartment, sometimes less in smaller cities like Lviv or Kharkiv. Groceries and utilities remain comparatively cheap, though rising prices and instability might affect day-to-day life. Public transportation costs are minimal, often under $1 per ride on the metro or bus. Dating and social scene. Many Ukrainian women are said to value chivalry, holding doors, giving flowers, and being polite count for a lot. Language can be a barrier, so some basic Russian or Ukrainian could give you a big advantage. On the other hand, popular urban spots have younger locals who speak English fairly well. Even in smaller towns, Western visitors stand out, which can spark curiosity and potential connections. That said, be mindful of sensitive local issues. Politics and cultural pride can run strong. Safety and visas. Political unrest and regional conflicts do exist. While many areas remain relatively safe for daily life, always stay updated on travel advisories. Tourists can often enter visa-free for up to 90 days depending on nationality. For marriage, you'll want to check specialized forums or local authorities, as rules can change. Healthcare standards vary widely, but private clinics in big cities can be decent. Given the current complexities, traveling or relocating to Ukraine might not be as easy as it once was. Still, the long-standing rumor is that if you do form a genuine bond, Ukrainian wives are unbelievably caring and dedicated, prioritizing family above all else. Country hash 8. Nepal. Overview and vibe. Nepal might surprise some people on a list like this. Known for Mount Everest, tranquil monasteries, and a peaceful aura, Nepal is also where visitors often say they've found extremely hospitable locals. Family culture is huge here, and couples are often quite supportive of each other. Some foreigners mention that Nepali women, especially those living in or near major cities like Kathmandu, blend old-school devotion with a growing sense of modern independence. Cost of living. Nepal is quite budget-friendly. You might rent a small apartment in Kathmandu or Pokhara for as low as $100–200 per month if you're not picky, although more upscale places can still be cheap by Western standards. Food is incredibly affordable. A plate of dal bhat, lentils and rice, can cost under $2 at a local eatery. Travelers often say the biggest expense can be trekking fees or tourist activities, especially around the Himalayas. Dating and relationship culture. Nepal has a range of cultural norms. Some families still prefer arranged marriages, or at least a strong family influence on choosing a partner. However, there's a modernizing trend, especially in urban areas, where people date freely. According to some travelers, Nepali women are gentle, kind, and place a high value on loyalty. English is commonly spoken in tourist areas, making communication easier than you might think. Safety and visas. Nepal is considered a safe country with relatively low crime rates, although petty theft can occur in busy markets. For visas, tourists can usually get a visa on arrival for 15, 30, or 90 days, depending on what you pay. Long-term options may require additional steps. Healthcare quality can vary. Kathmandu has private clinics that are decent, but rural areas can be challenging. In short, Nepal's spiritual vibe, combined with strong cultural values, might interest you if you're hoping to meet someone with a patient, nurturing personality. And hey, if romance doesn't work out, at least you'll have epic mountain views and some of the world's best hiking to enjoy. Country Hash 9, Mexico. Overview and vibe. Mexico is another fan favorite for people wanting a blend of sun, culture, and warm relationships. Online chatter about Mexican women often focuses on their strong family bonds, vibrant personalities, and the central role of tradition in daily life. Sundays can be all about big family gatherings, homemade food, and lively music. If you get invited to a Mexican household, prepare for plenty of delicious dishes and possibly a late-night fiesta. Cost of living. Many regions in Mexico are still quite affordable. Cities like Mérida, Guadalajara, and Puebla can offer rent for $400-$600 a month. If you go for smaller towns, the price might drop. Tourist hotspots like Cancun or Playa del Carmen might be more expensive, but still cheaper than many US or European cities. Groceries are cheap if you shop at local markets, and you can easily find mouth-watering street tacos for under $1 each. Dating and social scene. Mexican culture is generally warm and friendly. Expect people to greet you with a handshake or a cheek kiss, depending on the region. If you're looking to meet someone special, there's a big emphasis on respect, courtesy, and romance. A simple bouquet of flowers or heartfelt words in Spanish can go a long way. Some foreigners mention that Mexican women can be quite protective of their relationships, but many also highlight how supportive they can be toward a partner's ambitions and dreams. Safety and visas. Safety in Mexico can be a mixed bag. Some states have higher crime rates related to gang activity, while many cities remain quite safe for day-to-day life. Research the specific region you plan to visit or settle in. Visa-wise, US citizens can stay up to 180 days on a tourist permit, which is quite generous. If you plan on staying longer, look into a temporary residence visa or the retirement-friendly resident temporal. Healthcare varies, but large cities often have hospitals matching international standards. If you appreciate good food, lively culture, and rumor has it, caring spouses, Mexico is worth putting on your list. Besides, you'll never run out of new places to explore, from ancient ruins to Caribbean beaches, while searching for that special connection. Country Hash 10, Indonesia. Overview and vibe. Indonesia, with over 17,000 islands, is best known for Bali, a tropical paradise where many Westerners gather to surf, do yoga, and seek spiritual rejuvenation. But beyond Bali, the country is incredibly diverse. Online rumors suggest that Indonesian women, particularly from more traditional regions, may have a cultural emphasis on nurturing their partners and families. However, modern Indonesian women, especially in cities like Jakarta, are also career-driven and well-educated. Cost of living. Renting a small villa or a one-bedroom in Bali can start around $200-$300 per month if you negotiate local pricing. Groceries and dining vary, but street food like nasi goreng, fried rice, or satay skewers can be super cheap. Western-style restaurants or bars in tourist zones obviously cost more. Transportation. You can rent a motorbike for about $50 a month, though always be cautious on those chaotic roads. Dating and social scene. Bali is probably the easiest place to meet people from all over the world, including locals who work in tourism. If you're looking for a more traditional environment, smaller cities or islands might be interesting, though English levels can drop as you leave touristy areas. Respect for religion is huge here, especially because Indonesia is the largest Muslim-majority country in the world, so that can influence dating dynamics. People often say that Indonesian partners are gentle and caring, especially toward family, but they also expect respect for their cultural values. Safety and visas. Indonesia is generally safe, with petty crime like scooter theft or tourist scams being the biggest concerns. A 30-day visa on arrival is standard for many visitors, extendable for another 30 days. If you want a longer stay, investigate social cultural visas or retirement visas if you qualify. Healthcare is improving in big cities, but you might need to travel to places like Singapore or Kuala Lumpur for complex medical issues. So if you crave epic beaches, mystical temples, and a rumored tradition of loving, supportive relationships, Indonesia is definitely a spot to consider for your next adventure. Country hash. 11. Egypt. Overview and vibe. Egypt might stand out here as a land of ancient wonders, but it's also a place where traditions are deeply woven into everyday life. Internet chatter about Egyptian women often points to strong family values, devotion, and hospitality, especially if they come from a more traditional background. However, cultural norms regarding dating and socializing can be quite different, particularly in conservative or rural areas. Cost of living. Compared to Western countries, living costs in Egypt can be very low. A basic apartment in Cairo might start around $200 per month, though more upscale neighborhoods obviously cost more. Food can be cheap if you enjoy local staples like koshari or falafel sandwiches, which might run you just a couple of dollars for a meal. Transportation can be chaotic but inexpensive. There are taxis, buses, and the Cairo Metro. Dating and social scene. Egyptians generally place a strong emphasis on modesty, so public displays of affection might not be welcomed in certain neighborhoods. Foreigners sometimes mention culture shock when dating here, but if you build trust and show genuine respect, rumor has it that Egyptian wives are very attentive, great at household management, and big on maintaining a harmonious environment. Many Egyptians speak English, especially in tourist zones. Learning a bit of Arabic phrases or greetings can still help open doors. Safety and visas. Egypt's tourist hubs around the pyramids, Luxor, or the Red Sea are used to foreigners, but you should stay aware of typical scams, like pushy touts or suspiciously helpful guides. Official travel advisories sometimes highlight security concerns, so it pays to keep up with the news. The tourist visa process is usually straightforward, with many nationalities getting visas on arrival for around $25 or so, valid up to 30 days. Extended stays require extra paperwork. Healthcare can be hit or miss. Private clinics in Cairo are generally better equipped. For those intrigued by North African Middle Eastern culture and rumored devotion in relationships, Egypt might be the place to explore. Just be prepared to adapt to a more conservative setting. Country hash 12. India. Overview and vibe. India's cultural tapestry is incredibly diverse, with 29 states, each having its own language, cuisine, and traditions. While some places are ultra-modern and hectic, others remain rooted in time-honored customs. Across travel forums, you'll find foreigners describing Indian women as strong, nurturing, and family-oriented, often juggling work, kids, and household responsibilities with incredible resilience. People sometimes mention ready to serve, in the sense of fulfilling traditional roles at home, though India's younger generation is rewriting many of these norms. Cost of living. Depending on where you go, living in India can be extremely cheap. A modest apartment in cities like Pune, Jaipur, or Chennai can cost about $200-300 per month. In Mumbai or Delhi, you might pay double or triple for a similar space. Street food is legendary and can be under $1 for a filling meal. Think samosas, dosas, or chaat. But if you crave Western fast food or fancy restaurants, costs jump. Local transport, rickshaws, buses, trains, is mostly inexpensive, but can be crowded. Dating and social scene. Traditionally, many marriages in India have been arranged by families. However, cities now have vibrant dating scenes influenced by apps like Tinder and Bumble, especially among the younger generation. Some travelers report that if you genuinely respect Indian customs, like removing shoes at the door, dressing modestly in certain regions, or learning local festivals, it's easier to connect with potential partners and their families. The notion of an Indian wife as deeply devoted is still popular in certain circles, but be prepared for major cultural differences if you're from the West. Safety and visas. Safety in India can vary. Certain areas are quite safe, while others aren't. Harassment toward women travelers is a concern in some locations, but that doesn't always extend to foreign men. It's more about general caution. Visas typically need to be applied for before arrival. E-visa system is available for many. Healthcare can be both world-class and subpar, depending on where you go, but medical tourism is booming for procedures at a fraction of Western costs. In the end, India offers a lively, overwhelming, and colorful experience. If you're drawn by centuries-old traditions, spiritual pursuits, and rumors of deeply caring life partners, you might find your calling here. Just brace yourself for a wild adventure every day. Country hash. 13. Hungary. Overview and vibe. Hungary may not immediately jump out as a wife-ready destination, but it appears on multiple traditional values lists across the internet. The capital city, Budapest, is famous for stunning architecture, thermal baths, and a blossoming cultural scene. Some Westerners online report that Hungarian women are classy, well-educated, and still appreciate old-fashioned romance. On the flip side, younger generations are quite modern, so the degree of traditional service can vary. Cost of living. Budapest can be a bargain compared to Western Europe. People claim you can find a decent place to rent for around $400–600 a month in a reasonably central location. Moving further out can slash that cost. Food and drink are also cheaper than in many other European capitals. A hearty plate of goulash might cost you just a few dollars at a neighborhood spot. Transportation via buses, trams, and metro is efficient and affordable, often under $1 per ride. Dating and social scene. Hungarians value good conversation, so connecting often begins in quieter venues, cozy cafes, wine bars, or cultural events. Many Hungarians speak at least some English, especially in Budapest, so communication isn't usually a huge problem. Courtship might feel traditional. Think dinner dates and thoughtful gestures like flowers. Rumors claim that once you earn a Hungarian woman's trust, she'll be extremely caring and supportive, but you'll need patience to break through any initial reticence. Safety and visas. Hungary is considered one of the safer European countries, with low violent crime rates. Petty theft can happen in busy tourist spots, but a bit of street smarts goes a long way. For visas, if you're from another EU country, you can typically move freely. Outside the EU, you might have a 90-day Schengen allowance in a 180-day period, which can complicate longer stays. Healthcare is decent, especially in Budapest, though wait times in public hospitals can be lengthy. With its fairy tale architecture and rumors of well-grounded, family-oriented women, Hungary might be that under-the-radar gem for people seeking affordability and a dash of old-world charm. Hey there, still with us? If you're just tuning in, or you pause to grab a snack, we've been exploring countries folks online swear have beautiful, caring partners just waiting for the right match. Plus, we've been digging into the cost of living, safety, and social norms that could make these places prime spots for an extended stay or even a brand new life chapter. By now, you've probably realized every culture has unique perspectives on marriage, relationships, and daily life. Some places lean more traditional, some are super modern, and many have a fascinating blend of both. No matter which country you find interesting, remember that building a real connection goes beyond stereotypes. You'll need respect, understanding, and maybe a bit of local language to truly succeed. Don't forget, if you like what you're watching, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Also, drop a comment below. Tell us which country you think is the best fit for your dream adventure or dream partner. Now let's get back to our list with a few more awesome destinations worth your attention. Country hash. 14. Georgia. Overview and vibe. Georgia, located at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, is often praised for its stunning mountain vistas in the Caucasus Range and a rich winemaking tradition that dates back centuries. Locals frequently mention the concept of Georgian hospitality being legendary. You'll likely be showered with food, wine, and warm welcomes if you visit someone's home. As for relationships, it's said that many Georgian women maintain strong family values, and outsiders sometimes rave about their mix of European and Middle Eastern cultural flair. Cost of living. Tbilisi, the capital, is still relatively affordable compared to much of Europe. A one-bedroom apartment could cost around $300–500 a month, especially if you look outside the main tourist streets. Groceries and dining out can be reasonable, and local produce is fresh and tasty. Transportation includes a metro system in Tbilisi and plenty of minibuses, typically costing well under $1 per ride. Dating and social scene. While older generations can be more conservative, younger Georgians are open-minded and social, often hanging out in trendy cafes and bars. Many speak at least some English, and they're typically proud to introduce foreigners to local traditions like supra feasts with endless toasts. If you're dating a Georgian woman, you may be quickly introduced to her close-knit family. Being polite and respectful can win you major points. Safety and visas. Georgia is known for low crime rates, making it relatively safe, though petty theft can still happen in crowded areas. A big bonus: many nationalities can get a one-year tourist visa upon arrival, which is incredibly generous if you want to settle down for a while. Healthcare in Tbilisi is improving, with some private clinics offering English-speaking staff. With postcard-worthy mountains, an ancient winemaking culture, and whispers about devoted, family-oriented wives, Georgia could be your next big adventure spot. And there you have it, a whirlwind tour of countries rumored to have not only breathtaking scenery and lower living costs, but also a cultural emphasis on family, kindness, and, for some folks, the prospect of finding a devoted, lifelong partner. From the spicy street foods of Thailand, to the lofty peaks of Nepal, the dreamy beaches of Brazil, to the metropolitan vibes of Russia, each place we've mentioned comes with unique traditions, possible language barriers, and a whole lot of personality. But remember, people are people, and these broad claims shouldn't overshadow individual differences. Not everyone in each country wants to serve or fill a purely traditional role, and not all marriages or relationships will match the fairy tale stories you see online. Real-life connections take effort, respect, communication, and willingness to adapt. These destinations are just starting points for your own research and exploration. If you found a place that calls out to you, go ahead and plan that trip, or even that relocation, carefully. And if you do end up finding your dream partner abroad, come back and let us know in the comments. We love hearing success stories and insights from people who've taken the leap. Lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay tuned for more exciting content. We'll keep bringing you tips on the best places for travel, love, and an all-around amazing life. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy exploring.